Bersama kita wujudkan semua harapan. Satukan hati, satukan visi untuk melangkah. Mari bergandeng tangan, raih kebanggaan. Bersama kita, podcast Maman Dunia. Jangan pernah ragu, yakinkan dirimu. Bersama kita wujudkan semua harapan. Satukan hati, satukan visi untuk melangkah. Mari bergandeng tangan, raih kebanggaan. Bersama kita, orgasme mendunia. Jangan pernah ragu,
Good morning, Dr. Jurapan. Welcome. The event will start at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Amadana, this is greeting from Konkan University. Welcome you for today's special events. And yes, according to the schedule, they will have some greetings, formal greetings from the teams of Kemiskeska, Malang, right? See you soon. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We would like to extend our warmest greetings to Honorable Director of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang, Mrs. Afnani Toiba Aparpen MPD, Honorable Head of the Midwifery Department, Mrs. Rita Yulifa SKPMKes, Honorable Head of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Study Program Jember, Mrs. Susilowati SST MKes, Distinguished Guest Associate Professor Dr. Jurapon Tangkudi, our honorable speaker for today, respect lecturers, staff, and students, the first campus of Poltekkes Kemenkes Malang in Jember. Ladies and gentlemen, let us first give our praise and gratitude to God Almighty for His blessings and grace that allow us together here today in good hope for the international guest lecture under the theme Strategies for Stunting Prevention and Management in Thailand and International Public Health. I am Jihan Mahira Putri, a third semester student of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery program at Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Jember, and it is an honor for me to serve as your master of ceremony today. Agenda for today's program. Before we begin, please allow me to read the rundown of our event today. First, opening. Second, singing of Indonesia Raya and hymn of Poltekkes Kemenkes Indonesia. Third, prayers. Fourth, welcoming remarks by the head of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Study Program Jember, Mrs. Susilowati SST MKes. Next, reading of the speaker's curriculum vitae. Sixth, guest lecture presentation from Thailand on the theme of Strategies for Stunting Prevention and Management in Thailand and International Public Health. 7. Question and answer session. And 8. Group photo session and closing. To begin our event, let us start with a prayer together, so that today's program will run smoothly and bring meaningful benefits to all of us. Let us pray. Prayers end. And the next, we will now proceed with the Indonesian National Anthem, followed by the hymn of Poltekkes Kemenkes Indonesia. To the commit, please kindly play the anthem videos. Next on our agenda is the welcoming remarks from the head of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Study Program Jember, the Honorable Mrs. Susilawati SST MKes. We kindly invite you to deliver your remarks.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. First, I want to give a very warm welcome to Associate Professor Dr. Jurapon Samputi from the Faculty of Nursing at Kotlin University, Thailand. We are truly honored to have you here with us today. Let me introduce myself. I am Susilawati, Head of Midwifery Study Program at Jember Polytechnic of Semarang. Before we continue, I would like to sincerely apologize to Professor Paula for the miscommunication that occurred regarding the schedule of this event. Initially, we planned to hold this game, but due to a reschedule it to this morning, November 17. Thank you very much, Professor Paula, for your understanding, flexibility, and passion in accommodating this change. We deeply appreciate your willingness to still share your valuable knowledge with us. To my colleagues, our lecturer and staff, and especially to our students from the Bachelor of Applied Midwifery Program at Polytechnic Malang Jember campus, thank you all for joining us. Today's topic is Thailand's strategy to address stunting. It is not just an international issue. It is very important for us here in Jember. As midwifery student and future midwife, you will work closely with mother and children in our community. You will play an important role in promoting good nutrition, healthy food, and overall well-being. Here at Campus Jember, we focus on promotive and preventive healthcare, especially for mother and children. Our midwifery program teaches more than just how to deliver babies. We also train students to support mother and children for early life, provide nutrition counseling, do community outreach. One of program vision is to be excellent in promotive, preventive, maternal, and child health. This matches perfectly with today's topic. Our faculty has been doing important work in the community. For example, one of our lecture did research here in Jember about using local food to help stunted children. She studied special kits made from catfish in Indonesia lele and nutrition for tempe and supplement food for toddlers with stunting. They show that we are already thinking creatively about how to solve stunting problem in our own area. So today it's not just a lecture, it is right connection between what Thailand has done successfully and what we can do here in Jember. Will you listen to Professor Paula? I want you to think about this question. First, with strategy from Thailand or work in Jember? Second, how can we adapt these ideas to fit our local culture, resources, and needs? I encourage all students to participate actively today. Ask questions, share what you know about nutrition and community health in Jember, and think together with us about how to apply these international ideas locally. A big thank you to our organizing team for making this event happen. And once again, thank you, Professor Japatam Putri, for coming here and sharing your knowledge and experience with us. With great pleasure, I now officially open this international guest lecture. Let us welcome Professor once more and let's have a thoughtful and inspiring discussion together. Thank you. I hope everyone enjoys today's session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ma'am, for your warm and inspiring speech. Next, we will now continue with the reading of the speaker's profile, followed by the main lecture session. For this, we are pleased to invite our moderator, Ms. Anissa Ferial Meilanasari, a 7th semester student of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Program, Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Jember Campus. Ms. Anissa, the screen is yours.
Thank you very much, Jihan, for the warm introduction. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Anissa Firial Milanasari, a 7th semester student of the Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Program, Politeknik Kesehatan Kemenkes Malang, Jember. It is truly an honor for me to serve as the moderator for today's international guest lecture. And before we continue, I'd like to make sure that my voice is clear on your side. And if everything is good, you may give a quick thumbs up reaction. All right, as we are about to enter the main part of our academic session, we would like to first get to know more about the background and professional journey of our distinguished speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, today's lecture will be delivered by Associate Professor Dr. Juraporn Tangpukdi, a respected scholar in pediatric and community nursing from the Faculty of Nurse, Khon Kaen University of Thailand. Dr. Juraporn is an experienced nursing educator and researcher with more than 20 years of dedication of pediatric and community health nursing. Her expertise spans child development, digital health intervention, and participatory research, with a strong passion for improving nursing education and child health outcomes through innovation and collaboration. Currently, she serves as an associate professor at the Faculty of Nursing Khon Kaen University, a role she has held since 2017. She also contributes internationally as a casual lecturer with the Council on International Educational Exchange since 2017, and previously served as a lecturer at Khon Kaen University from 2002 until 2017. Dr. Juraporn completed her Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing from the University of Newcastle, Australia in 2012, and she earned her Master of Nursing Science in Pediatric Nursing in 2004, her Bachelor of Science in Nursing in 1998, and later obtained a graduate certificate in teaching from the University of Newcastle in 2008. Her outstanding teaching and leadership have been recognized widely. In 2023, She received the Best Teacher Award in Student Development from Konkan University and was named Regional Champion for Social Empowerment by Australian Alumni Thailand. Dr. Juraporn has also been actively involved in major research initiatives, including a digital health program for adolescents with cleft lip and palate in 2023, a study on interprofessional collaboration competencies in 2023, research on outcomes in children with cleft lip palate in 2024, and the development of nursing guidelines for pediatric internal nutrition for 2025. Her recent publication reflects a strong focus on pediatric critical care, digital health, breastfeeding, nutritional guidelines, and maternal education. Among these are Digital Health versus Standard Care on Breastfeeding Duration, published in 2024, Online Learning Simulation for Pediatric Critical Care in Malaysian Journal of Nursing in 2025, Guidelines for Internal Nutrition in Pediatric ICU in 2025, Parental Determinants in Childhood Diabetes in 2025, and Enhancing Mother Knowledge for Jaundice Care also in 2025. Dr. Juraporn's long-standing commitment to strengthening child health, her academic achievement, and her extensive research experience truly embody the spirit of international collaboration in advancing maternal and child health. Dr. Juraporn, thank you very much. And before we proceed, I hope you are doing well today, doctor. And good morning to you in Thailand. We are very happy to have you here with us. Thank you again for taking the time to join our session. And with that, we would now like to invite Associate Professor Dr. Juraporn Tangpukdi to deliver her presentation titled Strategies for Stunting Prevention and Management in Thailand. Doctor, your presentation time is allocated for approximately 90 minutes, allowing you to share your insights in a comprehensive manner, and will be followed by a dedicated 30-minute question and answer session where participants will have the opportunity to engage directly with you.
Right. Thank you so much for the good hang on. Thank you so much for the first impressions of sharing with my profile with our audience for today. At first, let me check. Is that my voice is clear for all of you? Unfortunately, today I got a bit sick. Hang on. Right. I should be in this one. Is it right? Okay. First, let me check my voice a bit because can you hear me?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, doctor. Your voice is not clear.
Can you hear me clear? Hello? Is it better?
Hello, Dr. Juraporn.
I'm here. Can you hear me? Right? Hello?
Yes, I'm sorry, doctor. Your voice is not clear here.
Right. Okay. Let me fix up for a minute.
Okay, take your time, doctor.
If I use this device, is that getting better? Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better
Right.
before.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your great introductions of my profiles and my working history. And thank you again for inviting me to share with my research in Thailand, as well as in my plan. I'm going to share the research in which I did together with my student in Indonesia at the end of my presentation too. Sorry again for my unclear voice because I got a cold weeks ago and it still recovers. And first, on behalf of the school Faculty of Nursing, Khon Kaen University, we've been great honor to share the research and being honored to be invited to share our knowledge with friends from Indonesia. And whatever's in other aspect, if we could have other expertise, for example, in adult nursing, gerontology nursing, community nursing, psychiatric nursing, as well as midwifery nursing, please feel free to contact the Faculty of Nursing, Khon Kaen University, Assistant Dean for the Global Affairs, Professor Vipawadi. She also happy to assist on your need in which we could do. Right. Greeting from Khon Kaen University to friends from Kemengas, Ponticus, Malang. In fact, I have been to Pontianak, Surabaya, Yogyakarta, Bali, but not yet in Malang. Today, my dream come true. Even I'm going by online. Wish to go there physically, but online is okay too. And get into my lecture today. I already hand on my lecture slide to all of you, but let me start one at a time to get clearer understand about what is the situation of stuntings. And I also going to share my file, lecture file to you too. Please give me a second. หมายความว่าคะแนนคุณลักษณะมันเยอะในน้ำหนักมันเยอะมันไม่10%หรอกแก้วมัน10%จาก60มันคือ16.67ใช่ Okay. Shall we start from the lecture topic in which I've been assigned from the host institutes? Say yes for this topic lecture straight away without any hesitation because I believe that I could contribute some things in terms of your request according from my experience. And I believe that we are focusing in the same concern, which maternal and child health nursing could do something different. Before starting prepare my lecture slide, I'm thinking about what is the situation in Indonesia recently, because I have done the research together with my master degree student from Indonesia, which is about 5 years ago. And I think whether or not the situations of caring for young children in Indonesia are changed or improved. Surprisingly, it has been changed and improved. But why? The host is still need me to give you a lecture in this bit myself. So I first start do the research in relevance of my lecture topic for today. And I found the supporting information in which important for us to learn, to understand, and make clearer figures on what is the role of nurses can change this situation as the game changers. So there are 3 main topics on my lectures, which I'm going to deliver you within 90 minutes. And we are open for your question. Please feel free to make a list of your question at the end of my presentation. Otherwise, If the question occur throughout my lecture, please feel free to raise your hand up via the raise hand icon, and then I will respond to you on that demand. So there are three lectures topics. First, I wish to spotlight for you to get clearer is the deeper meaning of each malnutrition for children. Stunning is one of it, but what is the rest of them and what we should do? Second, my lecture topic will cover the world challenges on child stunting. We have to spotlight on this, and no surprise that you are invite me to share in this topic. Even this concern is still be a problem in Thailand. Finally, we will discuss about how did in Thailand we are doing and understand the challenging situation in Thailand. Let me first start to get a clearer understand on the sustainable goal development. Many of you have known about the SDG. If yes, please send the message into the chat box by why. Or if you have not known about the SDG, please type in. Please welcome. Right? I'm looking for your answer. Please type if you have known the sustainable goal development, type yes. If not known, please type no. Can you type anything via the chat? Jihan, I'm not really sure. Does the audiences today allowed to send any message via the chat? Jihan Mahara, are they able to send any chat?
Excuse me, doctor. No, it's clearly okay.
All right. So they can send any response via the chat. Is it
Yes.
okay?
Yeah,
So,
it's right.
right. Okay. So I will patent for the response. I want to know that do they know about SDG before? Have you heard about the SDG? If yes, please answer yes. If no, please answer no. Great, I got first question answered. That's so good. Otherwise, you can make it in short Y or N. Right. Just want to be sure that we have some participations together. Still wait for your answer. That's so good. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. Whether or not you know or not know, I will let you to get clearly understand. Right. By random, can I ask, Vada Panita. Vada Panita is by random. You are picked by me, right? Is any of SDG may relevant with child nutrition concerns? Can you pick up one to tell me? Is any SDG relevant for child nutrition? Vada, please. Turn on your microphone. You smile at me, Varda. Panieta. I think I pronounce your name correctly. Is she being able to turn on the microphone? I'm not sure. Right. If the microphone turning, it's maybe a problems. No worry. So I will give you some figures to get understand. Right. Thank you for your response via the chat. I bring you before start my lectures by getting to know on the SDG because it is the world concern. The United Nations bring this 17 SDG for all over the place around the world to get clearer understand that if of each country will develop into the world levels, what we should do. So there are 17 SDG and relevant to the response on child nutrition. At very first, if you first look at the first SDG about poverty, if we talk about the national income of each and family income of each family, we would find that we have difference or the diverse between of each country, of each families. So the poverty is one of problems. It's not only about family income, but it's about food sustainables in which the family can be fed for the children can be fed by their families. So if the problems on poverty still be facing and challenging for families, it's more predictable that young children in family may have less quantities and qualities of good nutrition. And zero hungers. Again, zero hunger. Thank you. Thank you, all good student, right? So zero hunger is one of the concern in which we think about peoples across the world could have equals and sustainable nutrition to maintain their health. And it brings into the result of the good health and well-being. Like many students respond to me, thanks Jenny Pete, thanks Warda Panita, thanks Finas Nialatus Isa. Thank you so much for your response. So we are setting the scene to be able to understand that no matter which any part of the world you are in, we are seriously that people across the world will have a good health by start from good food. So at first, I will figure out on the first definitions of the concern on child malnutrition, starting from stunting. Stunting refers to children who have too short on his age and also suffer from severe irascibles for their physical and cognitive demands in company with the stunted growth and it diverse effects on standings at last as their lifetime on their health and their physicals. So the caloric malnutrition intakes, it affects from birth until they're grown. Starting from young children, babies, the first food, best food for their children is breastfeedings. Upon the arrivals in the world, the God, the Lord, give mothers a breast milk for young children to give a good nutrition. However, if the mother themselves they have poor nutrition, what is the result? Young baby may not have good sufficient nutrition through the breastfeedings. Besides, not only the breastfeeding, somehow the cultures and their misleading practice, for example, early feedings for young babies than their digestion age. For example, some countries believe that early feeding for young baby at 2 or 3 months would enhance their nutrition. In fact, That is not that right, and it affects on the qualities of nutritionists for young children. So the long-term effects can be measured by the height of children, because the height of children producing by the long-term nutrition into the long bone. Therefore, child stunting is a long-term effects on poor nutrition or malnutrition problems. What is the situation of children across the world? What we could look for, and we could see from the statistic and shown in these figures, which I'm going to share you soon. It is about the situation across the world. If you look at this map reported by the UNICEF, WHO, and they're concerned of this figure because they look at the situation and the statistic for young children under 5 years who are affected by stuntings across the world in of each regions. If you look at this, let me show you the most regions and country in the world that being in the concern of the severe of the child stunting statistic has shown over 30% of children under 5 years suffering from stuntings. There occurs across the African country, and sadly, some of Southern Asia, including some country in Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, Nepal. So those countries still have a big challenge through their country. And what is the situation in the Southeast Asia? If you could look at this Iceland, which is share the border between Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, it still be a country that has a challenges that in the statistic has shown that children under 5 years suffering from prevalence of the child malnutrition in stuntings. Look at of each country's statistic. We have found that in Asia itself, what we have done in the changes of last 10 years, statistic from year 2012 and comparison with the yellow dot in 2024, they have found that across the world, they take a serious concern to reduce the child stuntings. You could see in Asia, we have done so far on the great job reducing children suffering from malnutrition in stuntings. What is the situation in Southeast Asia? We have done a challenge on reducing the statistic of the previous statistic shown in 2012 at about approximately 40% down to 30%, but it's still behind greater than 30% of children under 5 years of age. In this concern, bring us to look at how of each countries of each region still have young children under 5 years remain in that numbers. Over 76 million children across Asia still suffering from this concern. And thanks for your host institutes to inviting me to focusing in this topic. And we are committing to commit in the problems on child stunting, what we could share and tackle with this concern, because itself in this problem for child stunting in Asia, we still be a greater number of children, over 76 millions, in the situation of child stuntings. So boys are more enriched of the problems affected by child stuntings. We still not yet clear understand why the gender effects on child nutrition, but in the report divided by child genders, boys and girls has some diverse of slightly difference on the statistics shown in the effects numbers of child stuntings across of each region reported by the UN regionals. Let me bring you to the second definition of child malnutrition. Have you ever seen someone who are tall, children who are tall by their age, but they're so skinny? So they might facing some short-term nutrition problems, which we call wasting. Wasting, what does it mean? Wasting is mean it refers to one of definition of child malnutrition because children are too thin in their age in compare with the height. So the weight by age they may have a small number in a statistic by their normal range. The wasting result in the recent rapid weight loss or failure to gain weight. For this reason, it may affect for a severity of wasting, increase a risk of death, particular effect on treatment variables. So, in the hospital child, children who are admitted in hospital in Thailand by our programs, a standard nation, we have to measure the weight, height, and age of young children to reassure their nutrition status at first day of admission, to see that a short-term effects from their treatment, for example, somehow they may need to have a restriction on nutrition intakes because of the disease, the condition of treatment. Sorry, forgive me. For example, they may need to undergo for surgery. They may need to restriction for their bowel recovering. So the short-term effects on their weight, they may lose their weight and it affects on their chronic condition later on. So in very short period, we have to take a serious concern that what is the main factors in which affects on the weight loss of young children. For example, they may lose of their appetites. They may have a restriction on treatment, or they may have a change of their life. For example, they may have lost their parent. They may facing of their family financial distress. So for this reason, what we could have tackle on this, we have to take a concern. In hospital, if we have a prescription for restriction on the nutrition, we have to reassess in every 24 hours to see the progressions of children, even they may have a challenges on their treatment. For example, they may undergo for the major surgeries. So upon their recovers, so they try to reassess the bowel movement of young children, whether or not they're ready to recover from the bowel startings, the bowel recovering programs by the light diet to make sure that the recovering of the digestion is come back. And then the doctor will prescribe the meal for young children as soon as possible. In the worst, in very short period of time for young children who are affected by child wastings, we look at the statistic again. In Southeast Asia, we are facing this situation at approximately less than 10%, which is in the medium levels of the concern. Sadly, in Southeast Asia, across the same regions of the problems of young children facing the child stunting problems, for example, in India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Pakistan, they are still facing off the greater number of more than 15%, which is in a situation of very high percentage of young children affected by child wastings, reported by the UNICEF and WHO in year 2025. And this brings concern to look at how we tackle with these problems over 10 years. So the report comparisons a statistic has shown Southeastern Asia has done a rapid change in challenging of the concern of preventions of the preference for child wasting. If you look at these statistics, we have shown that we dropped down statistic from greater than 15% in year 2012, dropped down into 13% in year 2024 for the Southeast Asian regionals. However, we are in the same challenges of the situation that it still remain in the highest area of the percentage report for young children under 5 years with wasting problem. In accumulate, the number of children in Southeast Asia, particular itself, it over 24.4 million children suffering from child wastings. Look at the situation of Southeastern Asia, which is the regionals of Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia, Singapore somehow, and Burmese. We have approximately children suffering from this statistic, about 3.6 millions, which is quite a big number in the third ranked in the world. In the global concern, in Asia itself, we are still in the greater numbers in comparison with the other continents. The last concern on child malnutrition. Let me ask you, would you think child obesity or child overweight is a concern on the health problems, or should it be included into the child malnutrition problem? If yes, please place the heart icon reaction. Please place the heart icon reaction. If no, don't do anything. Right, I could see many students place the heart icon. Thank you for your participation. I raised this question because it's newly for World Health Organization that definite the overweight to be a health problem in the ICD-10. So what is the overweight when we are adulthood? It is about child overweight in their life childrenhood as well. So let me explain more about being overweight, why it become a concern as the child malnutrition problems. Overweight, it resulted in others' health concern in their adulthood. In adulthood, why the overweight affects for long terms? For examples, non-communicable disease, cardiovascular, diabetes, hypertension. It used not to be in very young adulthood. It used to occur with older person, which may relevant with the deterioration of the people's health functions and physical function. Sadly, recently we found that the early adulthood have found the diseases relevant with non-communicable disease, which is preventable disease. And when we look at the etiology of the disease, we could have a prediction model of childhood obesity to predict in adulthood obesity as well. So the WHO definite overweight to be health problems according to ICD-10. Let me explain more about overweight What it refers to? It refers to children who over in heavy of his age. Both they may height that height in age in comparison is too high, or they may have weight for age is too high. However, in clothes between weight and height of each children, it transforms malnutrition. So they may have over-nutrition intakes, or the beverage and food are access for children energy more than their requirement. So basic medical metabolic requirement of each day of children may have overconsumptions, may have less physical activity, and it resulted in accumulate caloric intakes for young children. In this result, it results for their weight and height, so they become overweight in early childhood problems. Let me explain this situation across the world. In the other way around, from the previous concern of child malnutrition, including stunting and wasting, these most concern occur in developed country or rich country. If you look at the red or the pink colors, it happens across the regions of Oceania, including Australia and New Zealand. They have greater than 15 children in their childhood life are facing with the problems of the overweight. When I took my doctoral degree in Australia, in that period of time, year 2007 to 2010, the governments of Australia take these problems to be in a serious national concern because they have found that they have early adulthood patients suffering from NCD. What is the Australian government's managed in? They tackle in the school programs. They provide a school health programs. They provide a school health lunch program. They have a families programs to manage a nutrition for young children and change the snack into the healthy fruit and fruit vegetable snack to prevent overconsumption. And they recover for the physical activity subject of each school, though that problem still be remained. In the marketing, many marketings industrial, they cannot encourage their customer buy a program or any snack or any Happy Meals package to encourage parents or young children to overconsumption. For example, chips, if you're going to buy a big size of chips, they cannot make any printed or fancy advertisement in their package. They will make a very plain symbolics of the chips, and they state a family size pack for those manufacturings. And in the small school snack size, they will have a very small one for one single serve. That is by the national policy. Even that reasons makings, it still not yet make a change in Australia. So they can change, but the statistics still remain. But last but not least, better than do nothing, Australian and New Zealand government declined the number of children overweight over 23%, dropped down significantly, dramatically to 12% recently in year 2014. So what we should do now? Spotlight in our country. Would you think child overweight becoming one of your national concern? If yes, please place the thumb up icon for me. In Indonesia, child overweight, would you think it's big concerns in your country? If yes, please thumb up for me. Thank you for your participation. So, Once I get your invitation, I would not leave my concern that though the invitation focusing on child stunting, but I really want you to understand three main difference between of each child malnutrition. Started from stuntings, which is may be a concern in developing country, likewise in our countries. However, in the other side of the world or in the other side of the family who may be largely wealthy and may have overconsumption and becoming another concern of child malnutrition. So I have this opportunity to deliver this concern in my lectures program. In Asia, we accumulate the number of children. Believe it or not, in Southeast Asia, particularly for Eastern Asia, we have greater number of children suffering from overweight. And in accumulate Asia continents, we have greater number in comparison with other area. So in accumulate, greater than 16.3 young children under 5 year millions are suffering from child's overweight. But in the world by regionals and country itself, if you could look at Australia and New Zealand, they still have a big concern on this, still remain in approximately 22 to 24 children suffering from child overweight. And they're still doing a hard work on prevention child obesity to becoming adulthood obesity too. If we look at these calculated tables, I'm not good in mathematics, but I think these tables summarizing of the levels of stunting and overweight. If you could look at two diverse distinct between stuntings and overweight, across the world we still have concerns of greater number of children suffering in very high situation of those malnutrition concern. What is the world look for the change by becoming year in 2025, which is almost end, and next 5 year target in 2030s? We wish to reduce the number of child stuntings. We targeted at about 40%, and now we wish half of children of us will decline the number of child stunting. And the West, we wish to decline them to drop from 5 to 3%. And we wish to have less incident of child suffering from overweight, less than 3%. And it reported by mid-year of this year at May 25. However, in next 5 years, if we not target these problems together, the problems still remain because life is still not have any challenges. That's why you are a game changer for today. Look at the map, the greater number of child malnutrition in three different concerns. Of course, child stunting still be a big first concern across the world, but other two problems, which is child wasting and child overweight, still be followed with the statistic. So progression linkage by SDG divided of each country. We understand that many countries try to keep this concern on track. However, some countries worsen situation because they are not spotlight this concern in their national concern levels. So keep it on track will be beneficial for young children to have a concern making a change. For example, as I have mentioned, at a school levels, at a family levels, as a national levels, we can make a change. A percentage of each country, what we could do. If you look at the green, which is a problems that is on track, it means that country doing very good job in prevention that progression of problems. In Asia, we have found that in child stunting, we did a very, very good job in report by year 2025. However, we have to tackle continuously for this problem to manage this concern of child stunting, wasting, and overweight to tackle this target by year 2030s. Look at the most concern of child malnutrition in comparison to big regionals, which is the top of problems. In child malnutrition for wastings, stuntings, and overweight by colors. The yellow represent from child stuntings. So by 2050, 30s, we are expected that we decline the number of child stunting who live in Africa and Asia. So as we are a healthcare provider, I believe that we have to look at the most strategy which effective to manage this concern. In Asia and Africa, for child wasting, we are still be a greater number in comparison with Africa. So we have to look at what we could change in a short-term effects of child nutrition, which is we call child wasting, and children suffering from overweight across Asia. In fact, our national income or the growth, the GDP, we are not greater as in the developed country, but the most concern of we becoming has high incident increase on child obesity and child overweight. So for this reason, we have to monitor closely on the child overweight prevention strategies by national income and look at that how we tackles. Of course, in the child stuntings, wasting, overweight, in of each country levels of their financial status. In the low income country, they have significant change from year 2000 to 2014. We did a great job to divest the statistic over 48 by 2020 at the start, that declined down to 35% recently in 2024. But look at the similar situation in others regionals, in others income countries. In the low to middle income country, the upper to middle income country, and high income country, we have different diverse of the statistics shown. So the income country significance in the change of the policy, of the health policy of country, of the nutrition management by families tackled by the poverties. So poverty, it may not look close to the child nutrition, but at the end, we look at the hidden agenda of poverty and hunger, its relevance of each. So, share of income classification, what we could do. You could look back to your country's national income country. We could not provide a policy by changes from the government, only single things. We could change by education. We could change by practice. We could change by families' practice. So I will bring you to second of my topics on the lectures to tackle with these challenges map in year 2013. We expected that children who has stunting problem, which is less statistic by two standardized deviations of the statistics report by height by age, in estimated how can we decline the number of this problem, in particular in Indonesia. If you look at that, we are still in the concern of the world. So, understanding the challenges, let me explain the situation of Thailand and the painful facts. Of course, Thailand, we have decline of number of birth rate, which we call low fertilities. And recently in Thailand, by last 5 years, after the COVID, we have hit with the financial crisis, the inflations. So the painful fact would tell you that we have trinities of the children across our low fertility children, and it's shown that they're like children who have not fertilized by nutritions, like a tree have no waters. Children dropped in the nutrition and go strong, healthy. Could they live longer and healthier? And the definition of stunting that I have shown to you. And stunting statistics in Thailand, it is approximately 11% of children under 5 years. So 1 in 10, it's serious for us. What we do? We look at the nutrition screenings. I will tell you how is the nutrition screening of children in Thailand can do 100% effectively. Can I ask you about children's uh, nutrition assessment or screenings? Would you think in Indonesia you could do 100% under 5 year child's nutrition screening? If you think you have done it 100% children under 5 year nutrition screening, please place yes. But if you think you could not do it 100% screening for children under 5 year nutrition status, please place no. Yes or no in Indonesia. Great. Yeah, Kadek Windu. Great. Yawa. You think you did 100% child under 5 year screening. So the screening help us to see the number of child nutrition status. Thank you for all contribution of nurses, community nurses, or other health alliance to did this great job to understand and assessing for children nutrition. I will tell you why the screening are important. Because once we can see the national report, the national or the government can look at that statistics seriously, and they can decide the national government policy, in particular for health policy, to make a changing programs on tackle with this problem, whether or not the statistic could show, according to the standardized World Health Organization child nutrition status screenings. So the cause of stunting, it may come from various factors. The malnutrition itself from poor families, the family income, the strategy of poverty, or otherwise children may suffering from their own diseases. For example, they may have a congenital defects, which is repeated hospitalized infection. And last but not least, they may affect by a quality of maternal health and maternal knowledge in caring for young children. So there are various factor effects on the child nutrition. There are not a single effect direct on children nutrition, but what can we do? If we would think it's serious on this concern, child stunting is very, very important. It's not only about children weight in their high. It's about the brain weight and brain development. As you know that the first 5 years of age, the brain are most developed in size and function. So child stunting direct effect on the brain development, limiting in their learning, cognitive abilities, and the potential of the development of its children. If you like to change the world, get back home, fed their children properly. More likely, the child stunting's effect on the system, on their physical problems, in particular for the immune system. No wonder that young children who are suffering from immune, they may have problems on recurrent infection. For example, influenza virus, flu, hand-mouth foot disease, which is more likely occur for young children in 5 years of age. And physical growth. Physical growth is their physical strengthens. Once they are stunting, it means they are not really ready to go, to do, to be able to enjoy in any physical activity. They may more likely to be fatigued and have less energy to enjoy with the daily activity with friends in school or in childcare. If we look at that cause and effects, of course, it is a serious concern in long term of life of young children. As I said, we are game changer. We are game changer because we look at the future of young children in their cognitive abilities for learnings in educations. Your national will be developed by a young children generation. So stunting dialects in their learning. If I re-emphasize again, their school performance is based on their stomach. If they're still hungry, they could not focus on any concentrate in their class, no matter math, science, language, or whatever. So feed your children properly. When their stomach is full, their brain is ready to learn. And the productivities of healthy children, it can be most of their skill in their life. They can play full with their friends. They can initiate anything in their dreams. So understanding the cause and effect and their impacts, what we change. Starting in the changes of Thai situation, as I told you, we try to drop down a statistic of children suffering from malnutrition and how we could do. We not start at the children themselves. We start at pregnant women. And recently, we earlier start at the teenager in reproductive age. So we provide a national policy for the promoting the breastfeeding promotion. We try to elaborate a national policy to supporting women's pregnant women to understand and be able to deliver their breastfeeding. Can I ask you for deliveries and labor's leave in Indonesia? How long for the women to have a labor leave after their delivers? How many days by law in Indonesia that pregnant women can leave from their work with pay? How many days after give birth that pregnant women can be at home to care for their babies, need to go back to work and get money, get a salary. How many days by policy in Indonesia? Two months, 60 days. Who have their friends answer from Anisha? Anybody know the answers? 3 months can depends on the conditions, right? One month for pregnancy women and 1 month for postpartum women, right? Okay. So let me share the situation of Thailand recently. Last month, the government just give a good news for peoples across Thailand. They increased the number of the date for maternity leave in Thailand from 90 days to be 120 days. So approximately 4 months maternity leave and extra for 15 days if any of their children may be hospitalized or being sick. And besides, for their husband can have 15 days with pay for their paternity leave to support pregnant women throughout their deliveries and becoming a mothers. So by law, to be a strategy to prevention children stunting, it need to start from pregnancy through their birth and their young life of age. So that is one reason that I'm trying to make a comparison between of each country. Look at the policy. I went to several countries across the world and I have found the distinct diversities of each country policy. Could you believe that the Scandinavian country, for example, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, they could provide over 365 days, which is mean greater than 1 year maternity leave for pregnant women to care for their children at home with the pay. And also, if you like to continue your leave, you could get pay in a certain deduct percentage. Like if you like to continue in a second year of age of your young children, you could get 50% payment of your salary. So in accumulate, you could be with your children at home with your children over 2 years after delivers, still have a job and get pay from the government. Surprisingly, that number could support women to care for their children. And after birth in Thai, we have a pink book, and I believe that in Indonesia you also have pink book. You know the pink book? The pink book is the maternal and child book they use through their pregnancy from the antenatal clinics and for continues to use in well baby clinics to monitor the nutrition from pregnancy from mother's body weight until birth to record a birth weight and the growth rate of each children. So an individual pink book is used through pregnancy through their 5 years of age. So the pink book is the communications language between healthcare providers and families to look at the graph and the trend of each children nutrition. And besides, in Pink Book, they have the knowledge information, which is the health information irrelevant with the understandable language from parent. So the education provide appropriate knowledge for the complementary feeding. And we deliver a clear statement for parent not start any complementary food before the certain age. Let me check your understandings. Please let me know. How old are baby to be ready for the complementary feeding? When we should first start complementary feeding for baby? Please type in the chat box. So great. I got very good answer from you and make me very happy that so far we have said the same language. None of children below 6 months of age should not have any complementary feeding. I know from my student in the previous research over 5 years ago, because Indonesia combined with various over 10,000 islands, and many Icelanders still give the food for young children before 6 months of age, like Yiva Livaliana Panita has mentioned it. Correct. You know, cassava. All parent or grandparent give a cassava for young baby in very early age, and it affects for children nutrition directly. Besides, cassava is good sort of nutrition, but it is not suitable appropriate for young baby below 6 months of age because digestive not proper to be ready for being digest of those kind of meal. At the end of my presentation, I will deliver my lecture in Indonesia language. So, one of the strategy in Thailand, we take a serious concern to deliver a clear message for parents, whether or not you may have own belief or practice or influencing by your grandparent, encouraging you to do the early feeding for young children before 6 months, but you should not do it. You should not do the early feeding before 6 months of age for your baby because it not benefit in digestion and it have poor it affect for the poor nutrition intakes. So the critical growth period in 6 years of age will be monitored throughout the well baby clinics and the micronutrient supplement nowadays by policy, by national policy, because in Thailand, we are more likely to have a problem of the hematology problems on the heredities. For example, thalassemia, ferrous sulfate ferrous insufficiency, anemias, and other anemia irrelevance. For example, we may have other anemic problems. So the micronutrient supplements start earlier for young children at 9 months of age. At 9 months of age, at the Well Baby Clinic, every single baby will assess the nutrition status by growth assessment and the anemics assessment by the hematocrit levels. And if any baby's hematocrit level shown the anemics problems, the doctor will prescribe the nutrition supplementary for young babies straight away. And their parent will have a parent nutrition stations, advisory and home programs. So to prevent the chronic condition of anemia, which may lead for the lost appetite and effects on the long-term malnutrition, can be prevented earlier by these programs. In the other stage of their young children's, so the sanitation in school, in the school health programs, we try to prevent children suffering from infection and recurrent infection. So we do the school program for child screenings in Wilshire, in daycare center. We have daily screening before children get into the child care to prevent children get infection and promote healthier lifestyle for young children. We have a national vaccination programs, which is a compulsory vaccine programs that is provided from free for young children. And it's not only a free vaccine, but also a home programs and health education program to encourage a clear message for children and parents about what is the benefit of vaccine. Again, I did research with my Indonesian student, Nina Ashmar. She did a research on the development of the innovation of vaccine wheel reminders because she has found that parents more likely forgot about the vaccine schedule and the grandparent not really clear understand about the benefit of vaccine. Somehow they refuse to get a vaccine for their young childrens. Let me check with the current situation. Do you think nowadays some families still have problem on understanding of vaccinations for young children? Do they still have misunderstood of the benefit of vaccine? If yes, please let me know. How do they misunderstood or misconcept of vaccine? Great. Thank you, Shifa. Thank you, Anisha. Thank you so much, Dr. Anisha, right? Okay, thank you for your participation. Vaccination can be one of strategy to tackle with the child malnutrition. If you got no injected by vaccine, somehow in many area, children get affected by preventable diseases by vaccination. I would give you an example in the southern of Thailand. I would not say it is about misunderstanding, but it's about cultural diversity acceptable. In Thailand, the government prescribed the same vaccine from one manufacturer used across the country. However, sadly, in the southern part of Thailand, we have a high number proportion of people having Muslim religions, and we have found young children under 5 years of age get infection from measles. Even the government provide a free injection for mumps, measles, and rubella vaccine. We think about what is the root cause analysis, and we found that many Islam families are not allowed their children to get vaccine for the MMR vaccine because the MMR vaccine that the government use developed from the gelatin, which is prohibit from your religions. To being able to understand and recognize from this, the government try their hard to advertise from the families who living with Muslims, or try hard to change the policy or prescriptions the MMR vaccine which developed from the other type which is not from gelatin to recognize from the religion these diversities. Later on, many of families of the Muslim family allow their children to get the MMR vaccine. So this, for example, the vaccinations can prevent preventable diseases from vaccinations and also prevent young children from suffering from weight loss and resulted in their malnutrition. Last but not least, a prevention strategy in Thailand. We believe that a maternal class, it is very important because maternal health is children's health. Somehow we tackle with problems of pregnant women, for example, teenage pregnant, unwanted pregnant, or somehow they are inexperienced pregnant. So we ensure that a better nutrition support for young children have to start from their mother. We have a maternal class, health education, to provide the better health care for their pregnant life throughout 10 months of pregnancy and after they delivers. The community engagement program in which I will deliver in my last part of lectures about families and school. As you have mentioned that in some rural area, they still have misunderstood practice on nutrition supplements and support for parents in caring for young children. In school program, they can be institutes to promote a nutrition awareness and provide a better food nutrition programs for young children. So the early detections programs, as I has mentioned, in every single children's in Child Clinic, they will have a screening to prevention child stunting. A medical supplement like a nutrition supplement to provide a growth for young children. And the monitoring to prevent children can be monitorings from the family levels, village health volunteer levels, and the healthcare provider levels. So a community engagement in concern with the same concerns. In early detections, in every single child to go. In a therapeutic feeding techniques, a class for families, school, and in the village. A psychological support to prevent children and families. Health, education, and social are connected. No single family facing this concern by themselves. We have to share the concern together. We have to tackle with this concern together. And I bring you to a success story of Thailand by 3 different policies. In Thailand, every single child in early childhood and school program, children under 12 years of age, in every days, they will get free bottle of milk for 200 millimeter. They will get every day milk for free when they go to school, which we call a school milk program. Because we know that milk is a source of nutrition, protein, which is very important for prevention of protein nutrition insufficiency. And milk can provide across the country for young children in the school age. Do you have this program in your country? A free milk for young children in school program. Do the Indonesian government provide free milk for young children? Yes, milk food every day in child maternal and women. Right, that is great. This is free for children, no matter you are rich, no matter you are poor. So in every school, they will provide 200 cc or milliliter milk for students. Thank you for sharing MBG programs. Secondly, the NASDAQ, which is the National Institute for Technologies, they provide a calculator programs which every single school can do a menus for young children in school age programs, which is we call Thai school lunch programs. So in every single school, for example, they will get free lunch every day. The free lunch can be reassured that the ingredient is sufficient nutritionist for young children. So the NESTEC and the Mahidol University provide a programs for every single school to entering the number of students, to entering the age of children, and get a menus and ingredients. So every single school can provide a meal for young children through their school lunch program, which is a proper nutrition for promote a healthier nutrition for young children. The last strategy we call child support grant. Let me ask Indonesians, does the Indonesian government provide any fund or grant support pregnant women and family to get money to support their families? Do you have child support grant?
Excuse me, doctor. Just a gentle reminder that we have about 14 minutes remaining. Thank you.
Right, thank you so much. Okay, if we're in rush of time, I almost end on my presentation, right? The child support grant is here available for every single family for caring for young children at 6 years of age. Every month they will get 600 baht for one children. So this money get through families, not only a low family income. In every single family income, they will get a child grant support, which is a small budget to provide a care for young children and reassure that parents can get that money to care for their families and children. So those success national strategies combined with three different aspects combined with families, communities, and collaborative from the government. So no single aspect can be make a success story. Let me share one of the research in which I did together with Retno Gumelat. She is my fabulous student from Indonesia. She did this research about 5 years ago, but it's still similar situation in which I discussed through my lectures. She is now a lecturer in Indonesia. So she provide a programs which we call educational programs based on the understanding of circumstance of families in their financials. So the local food in Indonesia acceptable for young children over 6 months to 20 months of age. So she provide a booklet for young children to get our families to get a proper nutrition programs. And she also has videos for reminders for their parents that a global concern on child nutrition. It is a local concern which can be changed from every single Indonesians, make a change from families. And I would restate of my last lecture slide that nutrition is the rich diet support for children's overall and strengthening well-being for young children, no matter they are rich or poor, no matter they are in rural or in urban area. But it is our concern, our duty to respond on this. Before deliver the Q&A, let me have very short minutes to deliver and videos. I will not show you a whole video because it would take over time of my lecture time, but I'm happy to show you some examples of these programs research in which she delivered these programs in Indonesian language. I was not able to listen. Please enjoy.
Selamat datang di program pendidikan nutrisi MPASI lokal. Program ini terdiri dari 3 pokok bahasan. Yang pertama adalah pentingnya makanan pendamping ASI. Kedua, panduan persiapan makanan dan pengukuran rumah tangga. Ketiga, panduan dan resep makanan pendamping ASI untuk anak-anak dari berbagai kelompok usia. Topik pertama yaitu pentingnya makanan pendamping ASI. Pemberian MPASI adalah masa transisi dari ASI eksklusif ke makanan keluarga. Pemberian makanan pendamping untuk bayi mengacu pada pengenalan tepat waktu makanan yang aman, bersih, dan kaya nutrisi yang diperkenalkan pada usia sekitar 6 bulan. Makanan ini biasanya diberikan kepada anak-anak dari usia 6 hingga 24 bulan yang merupakan periode yang sangat rentan. Masa antara usia 6 hingga 24 bulan merupakan masa kerentanan gizi karena pada masa tersebut, zat gizi terutama mikronutrien dan energi yang diperoleh hanya dari ASI tidak akan cukup untuk memenuhi kebutuhan anak. Sehingga pada usia ini, status gizi berkontribusi pada tingginya prevalensi malnutrisi. Salah satunya yaitu stunting pada anak di bawah usia 2 tahun jika pemberian nutrisi MPASI tidak sesuai dan terjadi kekurangan nutrisi dalam jangka waktu yang lama. Penting untuk diketahui bahwa malnutrisi pada anak dapat dicegah dengan memberi mereka makanan pendamping yang cukup bergizi dan aman. Menurut Organisasi Kesehatan Dunia WHO, pemberian makanan pendamping dengan membuang sisik dan usus. Rebus ikan dalam panci, pisahkan daging ikan dari durinya, kemudian hancurkan dengan garpu atau sendok, ukur dan tambahkan ikan tumbuk ke dalam panci. Persiapan makanan kaya protein seperti telur. Pertama, cuci telur, kemudian pecahkan telur dan ambil kuning telurnya. Letakkan di mangkuk dan tambahkan kuning telur ke dalam panci. Contoh lainnya yaitu daging ayam. Pertama, cuci daging ayam, kemudian iris dagingnya, potong halus daging menjadi cincang, takar dan tambahkan daging ayam ke dalam panci. Makanan kaya protein seperti kacang. Pertama, pisahkan kacang berkualitas buruk, kemudian sangrai kacang, pisahkan kulit kacang yang telah disangrai, tumbuk kacang yang telah disangrai, takar dan campur kacang tumbuk dengan nasi untuk pasta, tambahkan pasta kacang ke dalam panci. Makanan kaya vitamin seperti sayur. Pertama, cuci sayuran, potong halus sayuran, cincang sayuran, ukur dan tambahkan sayuran ke dalam panci. Contoh makanan kaya vitamin lainnya seperti buah pisang. Pertama, cuci dengan air bersih. Kemudian, kupas separuh kulit pisang. Keruk pisang dengan sendok makan, kemudian hancurkan pisang dan letakkan ke dalam wadah. Topik yang ketiga adalah panduan resep MPASI untuk anak-anak dari berbagai kelompok usia. Resep dan panduan pemberian MPASI untuk anak usia 6 hingga 8 bulan. Saat usia 0 hingga 6 bulan, ASI adalah makanan terbaik untuk bayi. Akan membantu menjaga kesehatan dan kekuatan anak. Saat memberikan makanan pendamping ASI, perhatikan hal-hal berikut. Tahap perkembangan anak. Pada usia ini, bayi bisa menggigit makanan dengan tekstur yang lebih keras, seperti makanan giling, cincang, atau makanan yang dapat digenggam. Beri 3 kali makan dan 1-2 snack per hari, sebaiknya buah-buahan seperti pisang, pepaya, dan mangga. Berikan makanan pendamping 3/4 mangkuk atau hampir penuh. Sediakan makanan yang dicincang halus, cincang kasar, atau makanan yang bisa dipegang oleh anak, seperti camilan. Berikan makanan dengan cara responsive feeding. Contoh resep MPASI yang bisa diberikan pada usia 9 hingga 11 bulan. Resep dan panduan pemberian MPASI untuk anak usia 12 hingga 24 bulan. Pada usia ini, tetap berikan ASI sesuai permintaan anak, karena ASI menyediakan sepertiga dari kebutuhan energi anak usia 12 hingga 24 bulan. Saat memberikan makanan pendamping ASI, perhatikan hal-hal berikut ini. Tahap perkembangan anak. Pada usia ini, bayi bisa beradaptasi dengan semua tekstur makanan, tapi belum bisa mengunyah dengan sempurna. Mulai beradaptasi dengan semua menu makanan, termasuk makanan keluarga. Beri 3 kali makan dan beri camilan terutama buah-buahan 2 kali sehari. Tingkatkan jumlah makanan padat secara perlahan menjadi 1 mangkuk penuh setiap kali makan. Sediakan makanan keluarga yang dihaluskan atau dicincang sesuai kebutuhan.
Right, because I'm running out of time, so I cannot show you a full version of the video, but her research is done and published in the journals, which you can look at it if you like to explore more. And I believe that in future collaboration, if you like to do more research, you can talk to Red Note straight away or talk to me for a further collaboration and research. In respect of these problems, again, let me restate about the child stunting problems. It is one of kind of child malnutrition. It's not only one single problems. It is a single problems that occur from various factors, from families, from parentings, from families, from community, and even from nationalities. So how to tackle with this problem? We as a team has to help families to care for young children to prevent this problem. Besides, let's seriously consider on child obesity to be a future concern on the child malnutrition problems, which may not occur nowadays in our country, but it gradually increase number. Thank you for joining with me, with my special lectures, and bring you into the Q&A session. Please welcome.
All right, Doctor, thank you very much for the comprehensive and insightful presentation. We truly appreciate the depth of your explanation, especially regarding the strategies implemented in Thailand. And Doctor, we truly delightful to have you here. Okay, now we will move into our question and answer session. As a reminder, participants may ask their question in two ways. You may raise your hand and ask directly or type your question in the chat box and I will read it for you.
Please welcome.
All right, we already have a question.
Yes, please.
I can see that Tania has raised their hand. Tania, you may unmute your microphone and ask your question.
Please. Please turn on your microphone and talk to me. Don't be hesitant.
Okay, thanks. What indicators does Thailand use to measure the success of its stunting prevention policies?
Can you please say it again because your voice is not really clear?
Okay. What indicators does Thailand use to measure the success of its stunting prevention policies?
All right. Okay. Thank you for question. In every single years, Thailand will have a statistic for young children across country on the child nutrition. And we do have a Ministry of Child and Youth Development. Their policy will be direct based on the evidence. The evidence of the child nutrition, not only a year report. It comes from every 3 months report. So every 3 months report from school programs, from early childhood school programs, and from the Ministry of Public Health in child care centers, in well baby clinics. So we combine the data, and the data driven the policy change. So the success is decline the number of children suffering from malnutrition statistic. So for that reason, the government can direct the change for them. For example, they increase the number of maternity leave from 90 days to 120 days because they have reassured that the quality of maternal and child care, it affects on the child's health concern and nutrition at the end. Thank you for your question. Please welcome. Next, Tania, is it right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Doctor, for the clarifies. Now we move to another question from Nafa Aulia.
Yes,
Thank you
please.
very much. I have a question. How does the phenomenon of fatherlessness affect children born from out of wedlock pregnant, particularly regarding the risk of stunting in those children? Thank you.
Right. A quality of pregnant women, it is most important point to develop a healthy baby. So the small destination is preterm labors and children suffering from congenital disease. It can be preventable since pregnancy. For these reasons, we as the national policy and healthcare providers, we take a serious concern on antenatal clinics. Every single woman has to attend the antenatal clinic before they get at the 12 weeks of their gestational age. And since they first start attend antenatal clinics, they will measure their weight, their height, monitor their nutrition. They will be attend in the educational programs for pregnant women and their inborn babies' health monitors. The obgyneticians will do the first ultrasound at 20 weeks of gestational age to monitor the quality of baby growth in wombs. So for that point, we are seriously conscious on the development of pregnancy and to prevent the early preterm labors or babies who are suffering from pregnancy qualities and effects on the baby developments. Right? I got some chat message questions. Should I respond the hand raising first or can I get to the chat question? The moderator, please.
Yes. Yes, doctor, you can move into the question from the chat box. Let me read it for you. This is from
I'm good.
Ma'am Riza.
Right.
Okay.
Right. First, I think 3 questions from now. Let me respond one on the time, and I get back to
Okay.
Nafa because she still raised her hand. Nafa, I still put you in list. Right? The first question is about monitoring track system. Does the Thailand use to detect children at risk of stunning early? As I told you that in the Ministry of Public Health, we respond for young children under 6 years of age. In every single 1 month to 3 months, according to the child health promotion programs in the well baby clinics, young children, if their parents take them for the well baby clinics, every single children will be measured their growth by scaling their weight, height, and making an assessment for the growth interpret according to the World Health Organization, the growth chart, and every single child record will be straight away to a hospital record and straight away report to regional report and combined with 18 health regional report, they will gathering the national information. So a big data will be generated and tracking to see the concern and problems. Later on, they will do a tracking crossing the cause and effects. So for example, they can track the health regionals which has occurs the most incidents of child stunnings, and then they will have a strategic plan to tackle with that problems. I hope I could respond for the first question from Asia. Next, can I get back to Nafar's Alya? She also left the message already. How does the phenomenon of fatherlessness or effects on the born from pregnancy, particularly regarding from risk stunnings? It can be challenges for young parents who have not continue their married status. I hope I respond you. In the past, whether or not their marital status continues or they being divorced or they may break up or whatever, somehow women have to continue their singles parent status. It is a big challenge and burden. It's not only barely on caring for themselves as a pregnant women, as a singles women, as a divorced widows women, but also caring for young children as a single parent also challenge. Our fatherlessness, I would tell you, nowadays get back from the originality of problems. if their pregnancy occur because they are too young to learn in life. I call unwanted pregnancy or teenage pregnancy. It used to be continuous problems. However, by law, nowadays, we have a policy to protect adolescent health. If they pregnant less than 20 weeks of gestational age with a circumstance of unwanted pregnancy, they are allowed to do a terminal of pregnancy, which is legally by law and healthy by healthcare providers. It is not illegal, it is not risk because it is protected adolescent health. I believe that it may against the religions of a Muslim because doing abortion it prohibit in Muslims. However, in Thailand nowadays, we juggling the risk, cause, and effects to continuous pregnancy without a male to respond to be a father without any support. It would be a challenge both pregnant women and children. I hope I respond Nafa Uya respond questions. So we prevent early problems if they have a circumstance of family problems. So pregnant women can make a choice of their life. If they like to continue their pregnancy, they will get a support, a child grant support, a single parent support, and other support for a teenage. Even they can get back to school to continue their education. So that is the one side of coin of the challenges. On the other side of coin, if they could not continue their pregnancy by law, they are protected to get abortion. It may not really comfortable for Muslim to listen from this, but I believe that we will learn about the diversity of each country, religions, and policy. Get back to the question from Lisa Almami. Your question is about pregnancy nowadays in Gen Z, a Gen Z phenomenon in Thailand instead of stunting. Yes, but no, right? No matters you are in general, but I think the phenomenon has shown the changes by your physical, emotional, hormone to become pregnant women. In the first trimesters, you would challenges in morning sickness, hormone changes. You may suffering on weight gain. Even you may suffering from weight loss in early stage of pregnancy, but later on in the second trimesters of pregnancy, third trimester of pregnancy, throughout the antenatal clinics attends, you will get a group learnings, you will get educational programs to support of each, and we have a lot of innovative programs. For example, we do have the line of our officials account to provide a support pregnant women. We also have a national policy to support pregnant women to continue their pregnancy healthier. I hope I respond Risa Mami questions. Right, that is very fruitful and very productive class attendance from students in this lecture. Thank you, Sylvia Quantrums. Please raise your hand and turn on your microphone. I will try to respond your question. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. For Sylvia Cotrun,
Yes,
Can I
please.
just give you
raise your hand.
I have one question.
Yes, please.
Is there a vitamin D supplementation program for pregnant women and children at risk of stunting?
Yes. Not only vitamin D, but we call micronutrient supplements for pregnant women. However, it not spoil every single pregnant woman. We have to have a screening result. As I said, more likely is pregnant women in Thailand suffering from anemic problems because that is the hereditary genetic disorders. So, for example, thalassemia, ferrous sulfate insufficiency, or others are insufficiency of the micronutrients. So once we do the screening for the blood check for pregnant women in early stage of their antenatal clinics attentions. So in 12 weeks of gestational age, when the obstetricians found the result of the test, they will do the prescription for pregnant women. Even get back to the previous question. Even if we could find the circumstance of the risk of poor education, poor circumstance on the financials, we will have a continuous program for home visit to prevent the problems on the poor quality of pregnancy that are in the health of the unborn babies. Thank you for your questions. Please welcome for another student who raised your hand.
Thank you, Dr. Juraporn.
Yes,
That was very clear and gives us a better picture of the situation. Now we have another
Nilatua Roma.
Nailatul.
Right, please
Yes.
turn on your microphone.
Naila, can you turn on your microphone?
Okay, excuse me, I have a question. Is the provision of medication for stunting risks in Thailand ongoing, or is it a one-time provision after which it is discontinued? Thank you.
My opinion, but I have not shown you by statistic, but you can look at the national report. If you're interested, I will send to you to Anisha for distribute to your friends.
Yes, okay.
All right, okay. Is anybody turn on microphones? Right. Should I continue or should we wait? Right, okay. For the pregnant women in antenatal clinics, again, that is the national policy, which we have a standard national policy for antenatal clinics programs. So in every single pregnant women health assessment, there will gathering to be a report for the hospital to accumulate to be a regional report. And a health regional report will report to a national report levels. So they will distribute this information to see a figures of health regionals of each problem. So for example, they could spotlight of pregnant women malnutrition, so they can do a nutritional programs for pregnant women, and not only for their pregnant status, but also through their labors. At very first stage of labors, when they assess born babies, nutritions, before they get discharged from the labors, the nurses and health alliance will approach them to provide a proper nutrition education program from both sides for the postpartum women and the babies. So this is not only program finished itself, it is continuous home programs. You know, in Thailand, we do have village health volunteer. Village health volunteer working alongside with nurses in communities which we call health promoting hospital. So they will refer this case to continuing the monitorings of the status of postpartums and babies' health in the communities. So there are borderless healthcare for containing and preventing the problems passed from mother to child. I hope I respond your questions. And someone raise your hand up. Please turn on your microphone. Yes, Nick Dex window. Please welcome.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Jurapon. I have one question. What, in your opinion, how can we effectively promote health and encourage people to live healthy lifestyle, especially in reducing stunting in rural communities in Indonesia, where most people have many stigma and stereotypes that bringing their children or admitting that their children are malnourished or stunt is considered a family disgrace. Does Thailand also have stereotypes that are almost the same as this or not?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your good question. Very critical thinking question. Thanks for your thoughts. Anyway, right? First, I would tell you, in my opinion and my experience, I did my PhD in Australia together with my friends from Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, and we have found about the diversity of geographics. Indonesia in particular, you have very challenging geographics by combined with over 10,000 islands. And of each Islander, Indonesians, they have their own dialect language. So for me, I would tell you, there are no single strategy to tackle with this. So at first, you have to really understand about the circumstance of their culture, belief, practice, and other circumstance which relevance with the nutrition management, for example, their financials, and the influencing factor from families. When my advisee Retno, she talked to me that it's very challenge for the healthcare provider to talk to Icelander who may not really influence in Indonesian one single language. So you have to be able to understand the diversity of language at first. Second, you have to understand about influencing cultural diversity practice. Feeding children for complementary feeding earlier stage before 6 months of age. Since then now, you still facing these problems. Even many research has done. It's shown there are less benefit to feed children early than 6 months of age. Besides, it risks for digestive system. So, my response on your question is there are no single answer. But I would tell you that understand your customer is the most important. Who are they? What are they facing? And put yourself on their shoe. If you were them, how you should to change. If you told them feeding your children with avocado, with milk and nut, meanwhile they're facing poverty. They even have nothing to eat, only cassava, potato, taro. Think about local wisdom, local nutrition resources. Get back to the situation of Thai. In my generation, the government so not that rich. Peoples in community so not that rich. A school milk program, it is not cow milk. I used to fed with a soy milk every single day. A soy milk saved my life, saved my nutrition. Because in that time, we have found that soy milk is a cow of natural protein. It may not similar with cow milk, but it's better than nothing, which the villagers or local peoples in the circumstance of financial distress, they can provide for their children. Even nowadays, turn the other side of the coin. We get back to see the benefit of nut milk, for example, pistachio milk, almond milk, the soy milk is good, even it's not best as cow milk. Thank you, Kadek's video. Oh, it is very actively class. Thank you for your participation. I'm truly appreciate.
Thank you, Doctor. So we also have another question, Doctor, in the chat room, and will be our last question. May I read it for you, Doctor?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is from Nova. Excuse me, Doctor. What are the strongest national strategies implemented by the Thai government to reduce stunting, and which ones have shown the most measurable impact so far? Thank you, Doctor.
Ooh, this is the hardest question. If I'm a student in your class, I would spend almost time to respond to this question. My opinion, if I would strongly suggest in early prevention, it is early benefit. If you look at Professor James Haxman, he is economist. He is an economist who who was awarded the Nobel Prize. In fact, his career is not relevant with health, but he writes articles on his research about early intervention, early investment is the most return of investment. I will show you this article soon, and I will send to Anisha. She will share you. The early statement of investment to prevent the child stunning, in my opinion, is about caring for pregnant women. Because pregnant women going to produce inborn babies in her womb, in her uterus. Whether or not what is she eat, whether or not what is she consume, it is a baby's health and development. In my opinion, if I can choose only one strategy, even I'm child health nursing, I will get back to the antenatal policy to care for pregnant women, because that is first stage to prevent early childhood stunning and prevent a small gestational age baby. That is very dilemma picking answers. And thank you for the last question from students in the class. I may hand on this class back to Anisha, please.
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I'm sorry, we have to take a little break, just a minute, because there's azan here.
Right, please.
Okay. All right, Doctor. Thank you for the patient. And that was our last question for today. As we have reached the end of our question and answer time, and we would actually love to continue this discussion furthermore, Doctor, but unfortunately, our time is limited. And hopefully, we will have another opportunity in the future to learn and discuss more with you.
right? This is my great honor being invited from you and having your time. Even in the first stage, we may have misunderstood in last month
Yeah.
meetings, but last but not least, we are here to see each other, and yes, we are not about how to manage the nutrition problems. I would say nutrition problem because, as I said, even now, child stunting is the most concern in our regional, but later on, not really long from now, the child obesities will become a problems. And if I could list it again in my answer to all of you, I would tell you the truth that is very hard for me and dilemma for me to answer you only one single strategy to tackle with this problem. I would say there are no single strategies which is more effective. It needs to be combined. And I also share with you about 3 different things in the link. The first link is about the information relevant with Professor James Saxman. He is economist from University of Chicago. He established the theories of early intervention, early investment, and high rate of investment return. And the second link, which is the link to the journals, which I did the publication together with Red Nose, my beloved Indonesian student, on the research for child stunting preventions. And the third is about the international publication together with Nina, my master degree student from Indonesia as well. We did together with programs for enhancing the families, understanding the vaccination for early childhood. So it is not single step to reach to the top of the mountain. It needs a lot of hand. It needs a lot of patience and effort. And thanks again for inviting me today to share with you. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Juraporn. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge and experience with us today. And to conclude today's session, I would like to briefly highlight the key points we have learned today. Stunting is a preventable condition that continues to affect millions of children worldwide, limiting their growth, cognitive development, and future opportunities. And integrated approach, combining optimal improved sanitation, maternal health strengthening, early detection, and community programs shows that comprehensive and multi-sectoral strategies can significantly reduce stunting. Consistently, and if collaboration among the tenants, Indonesia also has great potential to accelerate progress in reducing stunting. Active community participation will play a crucial role in ensuring long-term success and it building a healthier, stronger, and more resilient future generation. Once again, thank you, Dr. Juraporn. Kang Pugdi, thank you very much. And it is truly been an honor for me to moderate this session. And with that, we have reached the end of our lecture session. I will now hand the program back to our master of the ceremony, Jihan. Are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Juraporn and Jihan. Screen is
Thank you very much, Ms. Anissa Frial Meilanasari, for expertly leading such an engaging and insightful session. And once again, a heartfelt thank you to Dr. Jurapan. Furthermore, as a token of our gratitude, we will provide a certificate to our distinguished speaker. We would like to invite Mrs. Susilawati SSTMKes as the representative of Applied Bachelor of Midwifery Study Program Jember to present the certificate.
It's so excited for me to get a certificate online.
Yes.
Thank
You, Darjaban. We gave certificate and thank you for your knowledge this has been given for us. It is very important and it is very big. And then we have many knowledge from you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right, we into the end of session. Hope to see you again sometime, and please feel free if I could help you or other faculty member in other department, please feel free to contact Professor Viphavadi. She is here for you and she would delegate us to see each other if in your interest. Thanks again for inviting me today. สวัสดีค่ะ See you next time.
Thank you very much. And before closing the event, we will have a group photo session. So all participants are kindly requested to turn on their cameras for the photo session. For the first slide, I'll get you by 3, 2, 1. Next slide. 3, 2,